So you want to get better at Dead by Daylight? You came to the right place. I'm here to help. Although keep in mind that this is a video for beginner players, not so much as advanced players. I will bring out another video later on in the future for advanced players, so be patient with me. So let's jump right into it. There's a wide variety of how you can build your survivor, although I've summed it up to 4 class types. And this is the Gen Support. This is Dwight Fairfield. He is your bread and butter when it comes to generators and teamwork. Whenever you're playing as a Gen Support, you're probably going to want to work with people. So you're going to get a shot of Union for your offering. And then as your tool, you're going to go ahead and get your toolbox. And these two things, they help you out a lot when it comes to generators. Now, for the important part, the perks. Dwight Fairfield starts with 3 perks that are amazing for helping out your team. But we're going to focus on the ones that pretty much sum up what he needs to do. This is Prove Thyself. This is your bread and butter and a perk that you should always run with if you're planning on being a generator guy. For every survivor that is working on the generator with you, it repairs 15% faster. That's amazing. You also get 100% more blood points for being on the generator with another person. So keep that in mind if you want to rack up some blood points fast. This is Leader. It will pretty much do everything else that doesn't revolve around a generator 25% faster if your teammate is doing it by you, not you. Spine Chill, this is mainly to keep you alive if you're not versed in the way of being able to tell what the killer is by killer radius or by communicating with your team, which is very important by the way. And then we're going to go with Deja Vu. This will let you know where 3 generators are in close proximity. This is going to help you out a lot at the start of the match. Now, keep in mind that you need to work with your team, so it's best to get in a Discord call or some other type of platform where you can communicate with them very quickly with voice, not typing, because in the time that you're trying to type up a message about what the killer is, they're probably getting smacked and dying. Alright, let's move. You want to be the favorite person of your entire team? The person that they love the most? Well, this is Claudette. And she is the medic. She is responsible for keeping her teammates alive. And so will you if you play as her and you have these perks. This is the medic build. We're gonna go with self-care, that way you don't have to worry about not being able to heal yourself. Because this is a great perk all around to have on any survivor, but I put it in her because it's her main perk. This is what everybody gets her for. And she's a free character, so you can pick it up yourself. We're going to go with Botany Knowledge so that your healing items are 33% more efficient. This is amazing to help healing your teammates. We're going to go with Spine Chill because you don't want to run right out in front of the killer while you're trying to heal somebody. And we're going to go with Lightweight. This will make your scratch marks disappear if somehow you do come across the killer. Because there are some killers that will target you specifically because you can heal. There is perks that makes it to where they can track your healing. Keep that in mind when you're playing as Claudette or any other healing type character. You can heal without all these perks, but this makes it so much faster and so much better. We're going to start you out with a Vigo Shroud, that way you start as far away from the killer as possible because you don't need to be around your teammates, you'll eventually find them. It's not hard to listen to their cries. We're going to go ahead and get an emergency med kit. This is great, it's not that rare even though it says it's a rare item. We're going to go with these 2, the gel dressing and the gauze. This will increase the charges. It is amazing because you don't really need your healing to be faster due to Botany Knowledge. So these will make it where you can heal more people faster anyways. Alright, let's go ahead and hop on to the next class, guys. Where everyone else runs away from the killer, you run toward him because you know that you can take him on. Let's get right into the bait of the team. This is the bait build. Meet David King, and he's kind of a hardhead. David King specializes in baiting out the killer and keeping him occupied while the other team does their things. Alright, now you're gonna go with a flashlight because blinding the killer always makes them mad and you know it. You're gonna start with a murky region, that way you can escape if you have to through the fog. The bread and butter of this build is going to be Dead Hard. It is a very good perk for avoiding the first hit of a killer if they don't lunge into you. Iron Will, which is Jake Park perk. It's good for keeping your grunts of pain in silence so they can't keep track of you by the sound. We're gonna go with actual lightweight. This will make your scratch marks disappear. The goal is to run toward the killer and get their attention, not to get smacked down and have to get healed. And then Spine Chill. This works as a double-edged sword. You can tell where the killer is and run away from him, or you can tell when he's looking right at you and run right towards him. This is an amazing build and is definitely a necessity for your team to survive, and it's one of the harder ones to play. Keep that in mind when trying to play as the bait. So you believe you can do it all on your own, but you don't like the idea of people losing their lives for you to prove it. Meet Jake Park. This is the solo build. We're going to start the build off with a Commodious toolbox, a grip wrench, and a protective gloves. That way you can break hooks, they stay broken longer, and the killer doesn't even know they're broken. We're going to go with a petrified oak. This makes the distance between hooks slightly increased. That pretty much annoys any killer that you're playing with. We're going to go with the Iron Will perk. You remember this from the bait build. And then we're going to get the Spine Chill because that's been a staple in most builds since the dawn of time. Although once you become more versed in the game, you can play without this and it won't be much of a difference. Saboteur, because that's the bread and butter of this build. You're going to be breaking hooks whenever possible, mostly to save your friends' lives. And then we're going to go with Self-Care. You remember this from the medic build. This is going to keep you alive in case you do get smacked by the killer. These two perks work together, and these two perks kind of work together. Now, keep in mind that even though you are a solo build, it is very important to keep in contact with your team so they know what you're up to. You don't want them thinking that you're running around not doing anything. If you see a generator and you're away from everyone else, get on it. Any little bit of amount of help can help out the team in a great way. Now, let's move on. Alright, you've made it this far, so you've learned a lot about builds, you've learned a lot about offerings and how they work with your build, as well as how your build is supposed to work with other people. Now, we haven't gone over the most important key feature. That's communication. If you do not communicate with your team, you're probably not going to get out as a team. And that is a loss. You shouldn't get out through the hatch, unless it's the only thing that you have left to do and you've done your best in order to survive. So go ahead, link up in people's discords with them, or hop in a party with them whenever you jump into a match. Create a team, an actual team that you play with all the time if you're planning on playing Dead by Daylight. And that's how you're going to get out through the escape gate with all 4 people most frequently. Now, if this video has helped you out at all, go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to be notified when I drop the advanced builds video, go ahead and subscribe to me. And if you want to ask me any questions, you can go ahead and jump in the Discord or Twitch. There's going to be links down below in the description. Thank you for watching, and good luck surviving.